it. What controls our actions?
Your soul. That's when we talk about when
The
we talk
thought.
about that
Yeah,
valve.
yeah, yeah.
When we talk about that valve, that two-sided valve, where you have one side where you have the carnal mind and the other side where you have the spirit, that valve and the soul chooses which one that they're gonna pour out. It's the same concept here. So when it talks about specifically, it says, "And put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to," it says appetite, and people think that it's just physical food, but he's literally talking about your soul. That means your own desires, your own carnal desires, your own mind. And you see in Proverbs a lot of times it'll say like, "Don't be wise in your own mind." This is kind of what it's referring to in that sense. Like, don't be wise in your own soul. Be wise in what the Scripture says. So, hey, now that Trot's here, let me tell y'all a funny story. Y'all want to hear a funny story before we continue?
Absolutely.
So, yesterday, yesterday, you guys know how the iWatch has like this emergency thing if you push the button for too long?
Yeah, it calls 911.
Okay, so if you have people as your emergency contacts in your phone, if you push that too long, it'll shoot out these messages, like these SOS messages to all your emergency contacts. So yesterday, I have Trot as one of my emergency contacts, right? Because I know he answers the phone, and I know he's gonna know what to do. So yesterday, I got stuck in the snow for like 45 minutes, and I'm sitting here struggling to get this car out. And as I'm pushing, I have gloves on. You know, you got all that stuff
Whoa,
on.
whoa, whoa. Hold on, bro. You ruining my story? Nah, bro.
Yeah,
This is
yeah, I'm
my
telling the
story.
story.
This is my
No,
story.
I gotta tell this. I gotta tell this part of the story though. You
Tell
can
your
tell your
story.
version, but check this out. So the thing,
Bro, you literally just
apparently
came in here and ruined my story this morning, bro.
oh, I had because I got a part of the story that people that I don't think you know
Nah, nah,
about.
nah. Hold up, bro. There's only one truth to a story, bro.
No, no, I said there's a part of the story that you are not aware of that I didn't tell you yet, which is gonna be even more funny.
Nah, go ahead. It's on you, bro. It's on you.
So, man, so listen, my freaking watch went off. It was pushed. I was sitting on the ground, probably under the car, trying to get snow out the way, and it went off. And I didn't realize it. And my phone is blowing up, blowing up. I'm talking about everybody in their mind. I feel the phone vibrating in my pocket. But if you've ever been stuck in some snow, bro, your feet are freezing, your hands are freezing, everything is freezing. And I'm actually getting upset. I'm like, why in the world are people calling me? Like, leave me alone. I'm stuck in this thing by myself, right? Anyways, finally get the car out and I look at my phone and I see Trot's text messages. And it's like, "Hey, bro, you okay?" And I'm like, "What in the world?" No, I'm sorry. Before I even spoke to Trot, before I even looked at my phone rang again, and I grabbed the phone out of my pocket. I was already out the snow, and it said police department, and I was like, "Oh snap!" I said, "Why is the police calling me?" I said my immigration status is good. Last time I checked, I'm a citizen forever. They can't take that
This
away
guy.
from me. Can they? So,
Hey,
so I
hey,
was like,
hey. Oh, never
Trump
mind.
won.
Go ahead. Go.
They might have revoked my
Like,
naturalization.
doesn't he know I voted for him?
Yeah, he's like, oh, he's like, I knew it. It's true. Trump gets voted in. We're all out of there.
I said, dang, they got me. Anyways, I answered the phone. I'm like, hello? I thought it was my dog probably ran away while I was stuck and I didn't realize it. And he's like, hey man, may I speak to Mr. Andres? I was like, yeah, this is him. And she's like, your buddy Trot called. He's checking in on you. He wants to make sure you're okay. Are you all right? I said, what do you mean? She's like, well, apparently a SOS message came out, yada yada yada. And I looked and I was like, oh my gosh. And I said, no, yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Man, I looked at the phone and Trot's like, "Hey, are you okay? If you don't answer in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm calling 911." And I was like, "Oh snap!" So he called 911. Bro, I had unmarked vehicles, Trot, coming down the street with the lights on. I said, "What in the world?" And it was like your buddy Trot. He said he was an Army Ranger and he's well connected, and he sent the
This
whole
guy.
SWAT team out here. They sent
This
the
guy.
CIA, unmarked vehicles, everybody. My wife called the police. They pulled me over later. I forgot to tell you that, Charles. She did call the police,
Who?
and my wife,
Uh,
she also had called the police. So I think one of them was sheriff and the other one was county. And oh my gosh. Anyways, it was a big mess yesterday. But just for the record, Trot had unmarked vehicles running down the street trying to make sure I was all right.
Started having helicopters fly over the house. What the heck?
Yeah, but it was interesting. I didn't know that thing was that serious, and apparently it was sending messages for a couple of hours to everybody, location, where I was going, everything, my whereabouts. I was like, holy smokes! But it was a funny story though. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny though because the first person that was on the phone, they were like, because not all apartments, like they won't. A lot of departments won't accept, a grid location. And the reason is because they don't know what a grid location is. But there are some departments that know what that is because some of them are veterans and they know. And I said, listen, I don't have to give you an address. Just take the grid location. He goes, oh, well, we don't do that. I go, oh my, I said, sir, yes, you do. Write down the grid I'm about to give you. What are you talking about? You don't. I'm like, oh my Lord. I said, bro, listen, 1147. And I give it to him. And he's like, I said, listen, if you're incompetent and you don't know how to handle a grid location, get someone else on the phone. And so he's like, so he gets this lady on the phone and she's like, okay, is the road, and I could tell she may not have known like the exact location. Like maybe she hasn't finished a grid or whatever, but she had an idea of those numbers and she was like, is it right here? And I gave her the roads. I said, ma'am, that grid is intersecting these two roads right here. And I said, and just looking at the scale, he's maybe 10 miles from this intersection right here. He's not far. And she's like, oh, okay, well, give me the number and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it didn't take long once they got someone on the phone that that knew what they were doing. But you're not always going to have that. But having the grid's important. So FYI to anybody, anytime something like that happens and you see the grid, it's going to give you a grid where they're at. You tell them to write the grid down. Not for them. They can be as ignorant as they want, but you need that office to have that grid written down. So in case someone walks in there with a brain, they can say, is that the grid? And then they can start working on it. So don't just trust some knucklehead is getting paid $10 an hour just to answer the phone. I don't know why somebody like that would be answering the phone, but that's just the world we live in. So if anyone ever is sending you like an SOS signal saying something's wrong or whatever, when you click on that dot on that pin drop, it's going to give you a grid. It's going to have a bunch of weird numbers, and just write it down exactly or screenshot it. And, they at least have something to go off until you're trying to figure out the roads and where exactly the person's at. Yeah, I was dead serious. I was like, hey, bro, you good? And I'm looking at it and I'm reading a little message it sent because it sends you a message. And I'm like, I was like, let me think about it just for a second. And then you have to know who you're dealing with, right? And I'm like, It's like, there ain't no way that dude would be playing like that. I don't really see that as a playing matter. So it took me about maybe 10 seconds to think that out. And I said, hey, I'm about to dial 911, meaning if you're playing around, it's about to go down. So I don't know what. If you don't tell me not to, then guess what? Oh, man.
Oh, bro, my wife came home, bro. I was like, man, I probably need to do this more often. She's like, oh, my God. She's like, I thought something had happened to you. I couldn't have lived my life without you. Oh, my God.
And then,
I lost you.
And then check this out.
I said I got to do this more often.
Hey, and check this out. So I got all kinds of weird numbers from Dre. Dre's always calling me. I mean, if a tree had a line, he could call you from a tree. That boy got numbers everywhere. He got iPad numbers, all these numbers. And then one of the numbers, it says, I think it says Dre's child or Dre's kid phone. And I don't remember. He called me from one day. I couldn't remember who. So it's in his, in his category. And I just know it's one of his kids. And so I just said, hey, what I say on there, Dre?
He was like, hey, have you heard from your dad?
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, have you heard from I got an SOS message from your dad. Everything okay? Something like that. So I called them all. Everybody got a call.
And I always answer my phone, too. So that's why people were really worried, because people were calling me. A lot of people were calling me. And I always answer my phone for the most part. If I don't answer, I'll call you right back. But it was like a good 45 minutes where I was out there stuck, and I didn't obviously I didn't answer my phone, so everybody really got worried. Like my father-in-law even called me like, "Hey son, you doing all right? Like you sure?" Like I was like, "I'm good." But it was funny. It was hilarious.
Man,
Needless to say, Trot had unmarked vehicles running down the street, coming to my front door. I thought I was going to jail. I thought it was ICE, to be honest with you.
yeah.
I said, uh oh. I said, my naturalization has been revoked. I'm going to Guantanamo Bay.
That's it.
And
You're out of there, bro. You're out of there. We're starting.
That's funny. You had drones going around the home and the land and the property.
Bro, I thought for sure the Muslims got the drop on me, bro. I said it's over.
They got the. They said they got the drop on me. That's funny. All right. Anyway, has anybody got any questions about sending SOS emergency pins? Any way that we can help you out today here on Descaled? Be descaled and know how to read a grid.
Or if you need your significant other to be worried about you, and like, show that.
Yeah, if you want to know if your significant other cares for you or not, send this let one of those messages go out.
All you got to do is hold the little button on the side of your iWatch and let it go until it goes beep, 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 beep. And then you'll see if you don't get any phone calls from your emergency contacts, they might have set you up.
Hey, you got the wrong emergency contact.
Yo. Dude,
You got the wrong friends.
I gotta put a disclaimer. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Yes, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not try this at home.
If your wife don't respond 9 out of 10, you have a great life insurance policy.
Heck yeah.
You're gonna see everybody going through their paperwork, find their spouse mail.
Hey, look what Big Net said.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah, 100.
The people that I have on there are people that I know would know how to respond in case of an emergency. Like yeah, if you don't have somebody that knows how to respond, bro, like you're screwed, bro. Straight up. So I mean, Trot is on there. I don't even have like my parents ain't even on there. I was like, I don't even know what my mom would do. She'd probably just call me or something and be like, "You all right? He's all right. He'll be all right. He's a tough guy." I'll die out there.
Yeah. not realizing that a reason that somebody would push that is because they're out of toughness juice. That's the reason. That's the reason. They got to a point where the toughness wasn't enough. So need some cavalry.
I've been away from Florida. I've been away from New York for 4 years. I forgot this is a season for snow. How much inches you guys got out there?
0.
I'm not joking. I got easily. It's still snowing right now. Easily 12 inches.
Dang. How many days have been snowing?
That's 2 days now, bro.
Like it's nonstop or what?
Pretty much. And you know how it is.
That's
like that little
crazy.
light flurry, it seems like it's nothing. But you go inside and come back an hour later, that little light flurry turns into 2-3 inches in a matter of 1 hour with no problem. So,
Aren't you in Colorado?
Yeah, I am.
I'm in Indiana, and we haven't seen snow yet.
Well, here in Texas,
Which is northern.
here in Texas, it's 88 degrees. You hear me?
Oh man,
Well,
Hey,
thanks, Sean.
I'm going outside with shorts on, enjoying life over here, boy.
Yeah.
Jessica,
I got pants and a sweatshirt on.
Jessica, we be going out at night at 80 degrees for our ice cream, right?
That's right.
We got flip flops and
when it's 80 degrees in Florida, y'all be having fur coats on. Stop lying. I know how it is.
That's at
Sweatpants.
70,
flip
right,
flops all year
Nina?
round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
At
so
70, I'm wearing a sweater.
Yeah.
hey, so
Okay.
what? So 70 is so what's considered hot then in Florida?
Look, Trot, you know my
90,
backyard. You've been here.
9.
Look at this.
99.
104
Look.
and the humidity at like
Right, like we're
Right.
begging for some cold weather right now.
Scalding
Right.
hot heat.
Okay, so
Wow.
hold on a second.
It's-
Okay, so what y'all are saying
wow,
is
that is a lot.
so what y'all are saying is it's cold at 70 or 80 or what are y'all saying?
Yes, that is what we're saying.
Oh, my bad. I'm like, what? What are you
Yes.
talking about?
Yes.
We're saying
Yes.
we
Right
have
now it takes.
and sweatshirts
Hey,
and
you
jackets
remember-
that we don't get to
Oh,
wear.
my bad. My bad. No. I swear I have California in my head. And I'm like, what y'all are saying makes no sense. No, my bad.
Right, you remember
Flip
that
is from
song,
California. Do what?
You remember that song from Flo Rida? Afro bottom jeans, boots with the
Boots
furs.
with the
Remember that?
fur.
Well, that song, that's a Florida song.
I got to hear the
Boots
beat.
with the fur?
I got to hear the beat. The words are not helping.
Okay.
If
yeah.
I heard
you
the beat, I would
but
know.
If you ever heard that song, that's a Florida song. Flo Rida wrote that song. Okay, and the boots with the fur, those come out at exactly 75 degrees.
He's
When it's
not
75,
lying.
boots with the furs come out.
Stop.
think-
The Uggs come out. The
Listen.
Uggs come out.
I'm a Florida boy. That's where I was raised, and I'm telling you, even when I was growing up, when the weather would drop, we would have starter jackets on at 75 degrees, bro, because we're used to 100. We're used to 90s.
Well, okay. But
73
that's what's
dropping.
funny. That's what's funny. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because in Texas, that stuff don't come out at 70 degrees. Like it comes out like at 55, somewhere around there, 60, 55, 60.
55. Forget it. That's a
I'm
freezing
not that
area
way.
for
I'm
us.
the same way, Tron. I wear flip flops all year round, but
Yeah.
I hate being hot, and I live in Florida, but I don't take out I take out a sweater maybe with a hoodie when it's 50 degrees. Yes, I'm not like
Brother,
them. I don't know what they're talking about.
Shut down in Florida at 50
Yeah.
degrees. Are you
I'm
kidding
not
me?
like them.
Shut down.
The boots with the fur are just ridiculous.
I don't know. I guess I'm in Polk County, which Ray, you said you wouldn't take a vacation here, so maybe we're just crazy. I don't know.
I'm from South Florida, so South Florida is a little different than the rest of Florida. So you guys actually get some colder weather, especially in that area in Polk County. But you talking about like South Florida, Broward County, we don't get nothing but warm weather year round. So
He's so right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It hits 70 degrees. Boots with the furs, bro. We're wearing fur coats.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm talking about.
We get, if here in February, we get January, February, we get up to maybe, we have a week or two that we get in the mid 40s, you know? Last year we got like 2 or 3 days, they went down to 38, 39.
Last year, I think, was the coldest it's been for a while. It was cold for like 2 weeks.
That's right.
Huh. Yeah, no, I was saying that that the ladies pull out, you know, like warm clothing around 60, 65, but 55, 65. Yeah. But guys like me, man, I don't start putting cold stuff on until it's like literally 50 degrees or 48, somewhere around there, because you got to understand the sun's still kind of out at times, and so it's. I don't know. I don't feel cold yet, I guess, unless the wind's blowing 20 miles an hour, and that's different. But
I'm going to be honest with you. I wear flip-flops with socks when it's 50, 60. Okay.
Bro, you are not a flip-flop sock person, bro.
I do that.
Stop it. Hold on.
No, I'm from
Originally.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
I'm from New York. Hey.
Hold on a second. Are you talking like correct socks? Like ninja socks? Or are you talking about regular socks?
What is a correct ninja sock?
It's the weird sock that's made to wear with flip-flops. Y'all ain't never seen them?
No,
we just wear socks with our flip-flops.
Hold on. Jessica, you saying you wear actual flip-flops with socks or slides? Because slides are different.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so guys, y'all didn't say slides. Y'all said flip-flops. So
flip-flops.
Okay, flip-flops are considered thongs, okay? They go between your toes. So if you're wearing regular socks with thongs, you need an etiquette school. That is not proper. Absolutely not.
I mean, we trying to keep our feet.
No,
clean,
then
bro.
you need to buy proper socks. You need to buy proper socks.
Need them toe socks.
Yeah, well, they don't have to be toe socks, but they have them where that your big toe and all your other socks are. It's like a glove. You understand? It's for sandals.
We are officially derailed today.
That's doing the most, Try. Who does that? Who buys socks?
What do you mean?
Right, thank you.
Doing the
Trey.
most? What are y'all talking about, bro? That's how you do it. You don't listen. Regular socks does not have an indention for that, so you got to squinch it all up, walking around looking like you don't know any better. Absolutely not, unless you're wearing slides.
I don't wear very thick socks. I wear if I do have the kind with the thongs on it, I can easily, my socks are thin enough where I can easily just push I've done that before.
That's right, Jessica.
We need all right, you know what? I'm gonna send everybody. I'm gonna send everybody to etiquette school.
Y'all need to be descaled on these socks, all right?
Listen, if y'all are wearing slides, then yeah, you wear any kind of sock you want, really. But if you're wearing thong sandals,
He's disappointed in us, Jessica.
I'm very disappointed. Y'all are better. What?
By the way, while we were talking about the socks and the flip flops, somebody put a survey, and you're going to be getting a lot of contacts as emergency contact.
I'm changing my number. I'm changing my number.
Get rid of all of my phones.
Yeah. Oh man. I'll be $9.99 a month.
Hey, y'all need to stop taking my emergency contact, man. Stick to whatever you had already. Obviously, you didn't care about your life before. Don't start caring now.
Yeah. You didn't care before.
Trey said, don't smother my contact.
Hey, I'm literally about to make a poster. Ever need an emergency contact? Call one that will not let you down. That's what I'm gonna say.
And call 911. It's free.
No, absolutely not. Say $9.99 a month.
You'll be able to do a merch on that.
Do a merch sweater
for that.
Say, hey, call Too Hot to Trot now. Call Too Hot to Trot now. Oh Lord.
Hero call Trot.
Huh?
It's gonna say you need a hero called Trot.
You need a hero called Trot. We need a better slogan than that. Hey, if you catch yourself, listen, if you catch yourself in an SOS location below zero, call a hero. Call Trot now.
This is what I'm gonna wear. This is what I'm gonna wear.
Look at her collection.
With my flip flops and socks.
I'm dropping you. Right now.
Wait. Are they pajama? Hold on, are those the pajamas?
Oh, you know what you should call it, Trot? It'd be like, if you're in danger, call a ranger.
There you go.
Nice. Hey,
You're in danger, call a ranger.
Nina, if she's buying that, then we definitely know she's from Polk County.
They're a little different.
No, that's right.
Down here, they wear the one-piece pajama all day. The one-piece pajama costume thing. So
I was gonna ask, Trot, do you ever leave your house with pajama pants on, by any chance?
What do you mean pajama pants?
You know, like pajama pants, bro. You ever been like, you know what? I gotta go to the store. Forget that. I ain't putting on no pants. I'm just gonna go in these pajama pants. I'm going to Walmart.
Absolutely not. What? Pajama pants?
Hold on. Brian said if you don't want to rock, call Trot.
If you don't want to rock, call Trot. Have a picture of a man like.
Got you.
Hey, have a picture and a man like all bones with like his clothes still on and like look like he was trying to keep warm or something. If you don't want to rot like this man, call Trot now.
Here goes CJ. When in doubt, call the scout.
Oh my God. Oh man. All right, let me see.
So we're officially derailed. Where's the sign? Put it up.
No, we're not derailed. No, we're not derailed. It's getting there, but we haven't derailed yet.
Are you down and out? Have you been stranded on the side of the road?
It's gonna be like an ad, like Beetlejuice.
Like one of them lawyers, like one of them accident lawyers. Have you been in an accident?
Yeah.
Have you
Hey,
fallen
Dre.
short?
Dre, I thought you
Are
lost
you
your
rotting spiritually and physically? Call Trot.
Are you
Hey,
rotting
Dre, I
spiritually
thought you
and
learned your
physically?
lesson when your car flooded, bro. Not to call Trot because he laughed at you when your car flooded.
Oh yeah, that's the other side. That's the other side of the coin that people don't know about. Go ahead and call Trot, and you're still alive. They're gonna laugh at you. It don't matter how scared you was. He's gonna laugh at you. So
no, it's gonna be.
you gotta learn how to not be in your feelings.
No, it's gonna be. If you're rescued, do you want someone who's kind and puts a smile on your face, or do you want to get your blood flowing right then and there? Call Trot now. How in the heck did this happen? Get out of that water right now while they're drowning. Jump in there, pull them out.
Oh yeah.
Pull them in there and say, now tell me, I want to hear how this happened. Well, I was doing this and I fell off the bridge. Well, that was stupid. Now, why would you do that?
What?
Why would you do such a dumb thing? So you're saying it's your fault you fell in that water and you called me to come all the way out here?
Meanwhile, you're drowning and he's saying this to you.
Have you guys seen there's a video, I don't know if you guys seen it. I think I posted it, where this guy has like this quote unquote ministry where he has men in water or something like that, and they're like, or they're on the floor, and you got another man that comes up and he just puts his hand on your chest while you cry it all out.
Oh, bro.
And they're just screaming,
bro.
And the guy's sitting there like just holding his hand while he cries. Bro, I saw that and I was like, I could only imagine Trot doing it. That'll be the funniest thing in the world, bro.
Bro, oh my God. You can imagine if what now?
Imagine you leading that group.
Leading? They'd stop crying. Hey, they'd stop crying.
Pushing him under the water.
Bro, they'd stop crying in 1 hour. I'd have everyone up, walking around, brand new jobs, mortgage, paying taxes in 1 hour. Every one of them. What'd you say, Tammy? Do you think first century people wore anything with their sandals? The first century people?
Not in that area. It's too hot to be wearing socks.
Absolutely not.
No, I don't believe people wore anything. Now, is it possible that some did? Yeah, maybe soldiers. They didn't have their toes just prickling out of their freaking sandals. They had some sort of moccasin socks or something on.
They had the armor on.
They had boots. I mean, he talks about
They had the shields over it.
No,
like the boot shields. Yeah.
yeah, but some of them, you can still see some ancient drawings of some of people, like even in the, like, I don't know if it's in the Egyptian cave, some kind of cave, and you'll see people that have sandals on. You can tell it's sandals. And then other people that has, like, you can't see their toes, but they're wearing sandals and they can't figure out, I wonder what it was, but you know it's some sort of like moccasin sandal. Like they still did the thong thing, but it was, you know, they put leather around the side, or their foot had like a leather sock basically that would go in there, but you couldn't see their toes is the point I'm making. But they have the same shoes on as the other people. They got some pictures like that. So can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah,
we hear you.
Absolutely.
So they probably had, like, imagine having leather socks on in the desert. Your feet would be stinking, boy.
Well, yeah, but if you're,
Bro, they'll be part of your body.
yeah, but if you're at war, then they ain't care about that. They just want their feet to be protected from rocks and stuff. So I'll tell you what, man, your hands, man. I learned that 100% at war. Man, your hands are so delicate. You don't even realize it. If you ain't wearing gloves on, oh, man. And there's a couple times I didn't have gloves on. And the whole thing's done. The whole firefight's done. I get up and I got scratches all over my hand from diving to the ground. Like the dusty and rocky areas out there. I don't know if that sand's got glass in it or what. Like I remember just scratches everywhere, man. And I knew I could feel like scratches and stuff like in my hands. Your adrenaline's rushing. You ain't really thinking about it. Then you get back to where you're supposed to be and you're like, oh crap, dude, what the heck? And try to wear my gloves every time.
Even playing football, you're that's how you know, like your fingers are just, oh my goodness.
Oh, you talking about when it's cold?
I've never broken any bone in my body except both my ring fingers, and not like the finger itself. It's just like a stress fracture on the tip of the ring finger from tackling. Like, I don't know how that happened, but it would break. I broke it several times each finger. It's really nuts. Like right under the nail, like that little tip right there.
Yeah.
Right between the nail and that knuckle, the ring finger, both of them, I broke several times. I don't know how.
That's weird.
You don't realize it. It's so cold when you reach out, man, and you hit the shoulder pads on the top, on the side, and the edge, man. Forget it.
Yeah, I never broken a bone. I've been blown up a lot. Been beat up a lot. I've been drugged. I was drugged a couple of times, actually. I never had a broken bone. Had assassination attempts on my life when I was overseas. It's like, oh, they almost got me. They're coming specifically for me, boy. I ain't never had a broken bone, though.
Yeah, it's like I didn't really like break it, but I just kept getting stress fractures on them. It's like really weird. I don't know why. It's kind of nuts.
All right.
Every time I hit like
You're gonna get me. We're gonna start talking about football. That's what y'all doing. Y'all trying to get me to talk about them sorry Cowboys.
Nah, football season's not even fun anymore. At least last year they was winning some.
Yeah, and it's good when they're winning, man. Man, it's sad.
You was excited and you was acting like we gonna win the Super Bowl. Look at us, bro. We haven't lost any game. You gonna say that team is bad? We're just gonna say that now. We're just gonna say that all teams are trash now.
Bro, hold on, bro. Last year, hold on a second. Last year, the Cowboys were not bad, bro. They went to the playoffs. They weren't bad.
Yeah, they beat a whole bunch of sorry teams, and
they beat some good teams, bro. They beat some good teams, bro. Y'all always be lying about that.
Love, remember? As much as you hate love, y'all lost the love.
Yeah, but see, love is number 10. So love, that kind of love is talking about the love of the law. Blasphemy. It's the wrong kind of love. I want everyone to hear Jordan talk about his last name again. His number, he comes with the number 10. Now, if it was love and his number was 7 or 5, bro, I'd be quiet. But guess what? It just so happens to be 10. All right. All right, let's get to... All right, so yesterday we left off. Do y'all remember what verse in Romans? We were still on 6. I think we're still going through some Romans 6. Yeah, because Romans 6 plays a huge part in kind of like showing separation between the spirit and the body. And it's actually it's huge what Paul is writing down. But what it is people read it over and over and over, but they're not sitting down. They're not breaking it down. They're not meditating on really what Paul is trying to say. And what Paul is saying is that we are a spirit, soul, and body. This is what he is saying. It's a revelation that Paul saw. He understood. If he didn't understand spirit, soul, and body, he wouldn't be constantly showing you the difference between the spirit and your body. The spirit and your body. He keeps saying this, and he tells us that we are spirit, soul, and body when he writes down in 1 Thessalonians 5:23. He says, I pray that your whole spirit and soul and body. He tells us right there what has been revealed to him in the New Testament. But because there's not 20 scriptures that say this, people are not seeing that this is what he believed. Paul the Apostle 100% believed that we're a 3-part being. He believed it. That's why he speaks this way. That your spirit is this, your body's over here. Your spirit is this, your body's over here. And yesterday we went over how he's pointing out that without the body, or I'm sorry, without the spirit, the body is dead. He keeps pointing this out because he's saying that the old man that you used to have, because it is no longer here, that body that it ruled is dead. In God's eyes, your flesh is dead.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Paul is the only one that really focuses, besides Jesus, that talks about the carnal mind. Like that's when, because he understood the spirit, soul, and body. I don't really recall any of the other writings of the apostles.
Paul says, Peter says something.
But even Peter was like, some of the stuff
Chapter 2
was kind of hard to understand. I think he was trying to get it, but it's definitely a revelation that hit Paul more than anybody else.
Yeah, because it was. What'd you say, Hulk?
John did definitely, because I'm thinking about Revelation and all them. Yeah, John definitely.
Yeah, no, they all mention it in some way, bro, but it's very minute in comparison to how much Paul understood. And but that's why he was chosen to go to the Gentile, because Jesus was going to make sure to use Paul like the way he studied the word. He was going to make sure to use him, because he's the one that was going to have to teach the Gentiles what they needed to know. So he gets this. Hold on.
Yeah, look at this dog. Look at how he fixes his bed to have a pillow. He literally fixes his bed up to have a pillow. You something else. Bro.
That's so freaking cute, bro.
He's something else.
He's trying to
hold on, let me see.
a pillow in here. I don't
hold on, go back.
Turn my bed around.
Huh?
Go back.
I was saying, look at how he fixes his own bed to have a pillow, bro.
He's smart, bro. He pushes it up there so he can lay his head.
Yeah, so he can watch me doing whatever I'm doing.
Yeah,
he's nosy.
Yeah, he knows he's smart. Yeah, he's smart. All right. So let me see. All right. Somebody go to Romans 7. Let's go to Romans 7 and
All right.
and let's go to, let's see. Hold on.
What verse?
Hey, Trot.
Yeah.
Today, at some point, could you explain to us? Somebody asked us to give a definition of the soul and the spirit. How could we do that without it explaining like what it does? Because
Hold on a second.
I was listening to a live earlier.
You were listening to a live earlier, and what?
And someone was trying to explain what somebody wanted the definition of it or what it was, and they couldn't really explain it. They could explain what it did, but they couldn't explain like what it was.
Yeah. Why did somebody ask for a definition of that?
Because there's just people that just try to poke and pry at everything.
Okay, so Jessica, if you know people are trying to poke and pry, you don't entertain that.
Right. Yes.
So what you're trying to do is you're trying to please them. What your focus is not about pleasing. When someone is mocking you, you don't please them.
Right.
Y'all have to start.
No, but there is a legitimate, like I've had some people legitimately ask those try because they have that like that phony understanding that they believe that the body and the soul is like one basically. So that's why they say define it. And then usually what I try to do is try to help them understand that the soul is the decision maker. Your body doesn't make decisions. The soul has to make the body make the decision. And that decision either comes from the spirit or from the carnal mind.
Well, yeah.
That usually helps people.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is I explain it to someone when I know 100% they're being genuine, not when someone's mocking it. There's a difference. That's the point that I'm making. They're literally lying. They're making you think that they want you to define it. No. They don't think you can define it. That's why they're asking you. When someone comes out like that and says, hey, can you define it for me? They don't think you can define it. So because they don't think I can define it, I'm not going to define it for them. You don't know. Y'all need to.
CJ,
go ahead.
CJ's saying that. CJ's saying that she's speaking about the people to believe the soul is the spirit. I've heard. I've never heard anybody talking about the soul with the body, but the soul with the spirit is actually one.
Yeah. No, I know. First of all, it doesn't matter.
Same as, yeah.
It doesn't matter which person it is. I don't care if it's someone confused about the flesh and the soul being the same thing, because there's people that believe that. There's people that believe the spirit and the soul is the same thing. I don't care what category they're in. Listen to what I'm telling you. You need to be able to discern when someone is truly asking for help and when someone is mocking you. That's what I'm saying. I don't care which category which part they believe in. And if you don't have a good revelation of spirit, soul, and body, you should not be the one trying to define things. Be real careful about that. You got to be able to back this up, be able to explain what it is you're saying to people who care, not to people who come around like a snake in the grass, just waiting to poke fun at what you're saying, because what you're saying contradicts what they're saying, so therefore they're mad at you. You got to understand, there's people that believe different things. And when you're saying something that contradicts what they're saying, they use any reason to get people to have conflict in what you're saying. So when someone is trying to mock you and you fall for it, they get to laugh, because now, again, they're causing confusion in everyone listening, so they can listen to them instead. It's a very weak political game, and you're not supposed to be playing that game. If you're telling someone that you're a spirit, soul, and body, and they don't receive it, what does the Bible say? What did Jesus tell the disciples to do if they don't receive this? Matter of fact, somebody go to it. Somebody go to the verse. Somebody go to the verse. And then I want someone to answer me. Why did Jesus say that?
Okay.
All right. Oh, I know why.
Well, no, I know, but let's read it first. Let's read the verse first. Who's finding it?
No, I'll let somebody.
No, whoever.
I'm looking for it too.
Yeah, whoever finds it. Just
beats me.
I missed the question.
Where Jesus tells the disciples.
Verse that says that to dust their feet and move on if someone doesn't take into what you said.
Jesus told the disciples, if they don't receive you, then shake the dust off your sandals.
Matthew 10:14. Somebody read it.
All right, Matthew 10:14.
Okay, so it says, and whosoever shall not receive you, not hear your words, when ye depart out of the dust of your feet.
Why do you think Jesus said that? Read the next verse.
Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. Okay, so Jesus is telling them to minister the gospel, right? And we know the gospel is about Jesus. That's the gospel. They're talking about spreading the good news about the story of Christ, that the Messiah came, you can be saved, right? We know it. We don't have to give this flattery verbatim these verses that people use, which is in Corinthians. It makes me laugh that if you don't say it like this, then you're not telling the gospel. Guys, we're talking about the death, burial, resurrection of Jesus. Okay, we know what the gospel is. Jesus is telling them that when you bring the gospel, if someone doesn't receive it, does he say sit there and argue with them?
Nope. He says turn around.
Okay, so guys, look, regarding anything, you trying to explain a truth to someone, just because they don't receive what you're saying, let's say, for instance, it's spirit, soul, and body. Well, spirit, soul, and body is not the gospel. Okay, now it's aligned with it because that's what you become when you become born again. But trying to explain spirit, soul to body to someone, that's not the gospel. You got to be honest with yourself. It's a further along teaching. It is true. It's 100% doctrine. It's true. But the gospel is about Christ. But what I'm trying to show you, that when you're bringing knowledge to someone and they don't receive you, you need to shake your dust off and leave. That's what you need to do. And you don't tell them, well, it's going to be worse for you than Sodom and Gomorrah. You don't say that. But what you do is you dust your feet off and you move on. And if they're following you everywhere you're going and saying, explain this, explain that, there's got to be a point where you're using your own head and saying, you know what, they really don't care. Instead of, oh, well, they're right, huh? Let me see. How am I going to explain this to them? No, there ain't nothing wrong. There ain't nothing wrong learning how to explain something. Okay. But it's more important to know who you need to explain it to. And you don't just explain it to anyone that's asking, because their motive for asking could be coming from a lying standpoint. They cannot be telling the truth. So that's why you always hear me point that out.
Yeah. Try Matthew 10, look at 13, where he says, if the household is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it's not worthy, let your peace return to you. And I mean, we understand when he goes into 14, and whoever will not receive you nor hear your words, when you depart from that house or city, shake off the dust from your feet. The dust symbolizing what? That spirit, right?
It's symbolizing the place. It's symbolizing the place
to take the peace.
Can you not hear me, Bill? Bill. Hello.
Yeah, no, I have a little issue with my reception. I hear you.
Oh,
go ahead.
Okay, so it's symbolizing desolate ground, meaning they didn't receive you. So instead of them becoming bountiful, right, with living water, instead of them like further growing Eden, they stay dry and desolate. And he's saying, shake that dust off your feet, like leave all of it there. Talking about, the bad encounter, these people didn't receive what I said. You shouldn't be thinking about none of that. When you leave all that dust there, and whatever happened there stays there, and you continue to do what you do.
I got a question.
Yeah, I love the fact that he tells you, don't take your peace with you. Don't get frustrated or uptight, or just keep your peace. And
but why does he word it that way? Why does he say? Why does he say take your peace with you? Why is it worded that way?
Because he's telling us to walk in the spirit.
Yeah, but
the flesh.
Yeah, but it says take.
Because if you read John 14:27, he says,
it says take your peace with you. Your peace.
Right.
That's what I'm asking everybody. Why is he saying take your peace?
Right. Well, in John 14:20.
Is there a delay?
In John 4, I don't know, but I'll tell you what am I delayed?
Yeah, there's a delay.
It might be me.
You are severely delayed, bro.
Yeah, I would go out and come back in.
Yeah.
Talking over top of the truck.
Yeah, Bill, like drop down and then try to come back in or something. So can anybody answer that? Why is it saying what?
Like your piece of information, like your revelation, take your piece of it, or I really don't know.
No, it says your peace. It doesn't say revelation. Your peace. Why does it say take your peace with you?
Because he gave it to us.
Right.
It lives inside of
That's
us.
right, because you already have peace. You already have it. So somebody find that verse that Bill was reading so we could talk about that peace real quick.
It's his peace.
Bill, what verse is that?
14, John 14:27. And he says, I got it already. It's one of my favorite verses. I use it on my wife. No.
This guy.
I love her. He says, peace I leave you. This is Jesus. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid.
No, the one where he's telling them, if no man receive you, that part.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Come on, Bill. Tell us
Matthew,
what you say.
it was in Matthew 10:13.
Yeah, read it. Read it.
I gotta go back to it.
Here, I got it real fast. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon
All right,
it.
right there. Right there. It says, if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. So if the peace of God comes upon the house, where's it coming from?
It's coming
From you,
from
that you're giving it, from the Spirit,
Anybody else?
from the living Spirit.
Anybody else? Jessica.
I don't know.
If
Coming from us, man.
if
Coming from
it's coming from us, it's coming from us. So if Jesus says, and if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. Does that mean peace is already there?
Yeah.
It
No,
enters the
it's
house
you.
with
No,
a
but is
solemn
the peace already there before you arrive?
No.
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 So if peace is not already there, then what Jesus is saying is, if the house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. So if peace was not there, where's peace coming from? It's coming from you. You have to start understanding who you are and what you are. Notice what I'm saying is complete opposite of someone that will teach you the law. People that will teach you the law will tell you you'll get peace if you start obeying the law. You'll never get there. It'll never happen. You'll never have peace. You'll only have peace for the 45 minutes to an hour that you haven't sinned all day. That's when you'll have peace, for 45 minutes or an hour. What Jesus is telling the disciples is, if that house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. Meaning you already have the peace of God living on the inside of you. It's already there. That's why we're talking about spirit, soul, and body, so you can understand that your flesh, cannot earn God's peace. So if it cannot earn it, then your focus is not trying to make your flesh obey God's laws. Because you receive Christ, you receive the Father. And that is what's worthy to the Father. That's what's pleasing to him. So because of that, you have the peace of God in you, in your spirit, not your flesh. Your flesh does not have the peace of God. Your spirit does. And Jesus said, when you come to this house and the house is worthy, let your peace, talking about the God in you, the peace in you, come upon this house. That's talking about the peace between man and God. That's talking about the grace of God, the love of God, the gospel. Let it come upon this house. That's the peace that we bring. We bring the peace that came to us when that angel told the man that were watching over the flock. When the angel appeared, he said, a child has been born, right? And he says, peace on earth. That peace that angel said, that's the peace that Jesus is telling you, let it come upon that house. Peace between God and man. That's what it's referring to. So whenever you walk into a building, if you truly understood this, you would do this. I do it all the time. When I walk into somewhere and I'm new there, I don't know anyone that's there. I don't care if it's someone's house. I always say to myself, the peace of God just walked in here. The Spirit of God just walked into this place. If you don't see yourself like that, then you won't say that. There are people who are under the law. They wouldn't be caught dead saying that because they would see themselves unworthy to say such a thing because they break the law of God. So they're never worthy. Or they'll lie to you and say, oh yeah, I say that when I walk in, but that's because I obey the laws. That's called self-righteousness. So now they're saying that they do so good under the law that they're not afraid to say that they got the peace of God in them. Notice that it's complete difference in what they're saying and what I'm saying. I'm saying that the law cannot make you good enough to claim the peace of God. But receiving Christ, who is the law, the only thing that pleases God, that's what allows you to say, or give to another house the peace of God because of what Jesus did, not because of what you did. It's not because of what you did. So it's very important that you understand who you are, so you know that you are the one that's bringing peace. You're bringing the peace. And what does it say after that, Bill?
Well,
Jennifer had it. Jennifer, can you read it?
yeah, Jennifer had it.
Oh, my bad.
I just went to Ephesians. I was looking for
No, you're fine. Jennifer, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
10:13, second part.
But if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you.
Yeah. Oh, man, what are you doing, boy?
That's why Dre got his in the cage.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, he sits in his cage on his own. Even when he's loose, he's used to that. He knows that's his little home. So I gave him sovereignty over that, even though I'm sovereign over the whole house, like how God does with us. So that's his little area.
Amen.
This is whatever he wants.
Yeah, mine has his own bed in front of our bed, but he's always.
Hey, I knew you wasn't Puerto Rican. He was lying the whole time.
Why?
Puerto Rican that sleeps with his dog? I never heard of that before.
Yeah. We put the bed in front of our bed. His bed in front of the bed, but he's always on our bed. He's always coming up on the bed.
Ain't he on your bed? Oh, you nasty.
What?
It's not nasty. We're clean, bro. We're not dirty. We clean.
What are y'all talking about?
Sheets.
I'm just teasing.
Oh.
Mr. God says, and he says, now he says, like Revelation.
Got an S. All right, Jessica, what'd you say?
Jen.
Jessica, what'd you say? So when we walk into a room, we bring her.
She's muted. She said, "Can you ask why I'm muted?"
What do you mean?
I don't know. Jessica asked. Somebody unmute her.
Here you go.
Sometimes it does that to me too. Click on your pic instead of down on the bottom, sis. There you go. Now you unmuted.
Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, no, so I just wanted to just double check that I understand. So basically, whenever we walk into a room, we take, everywhere we go, we take the peace that God gave us. And then if, in fact, the person does not accept what we bring to the table, well, then we just turn around and take that peace with us.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's telling you to do. So
Amen.
Even though here Jesus is talking about the gospel, anything that you can add to the foundation of Christ, it comes from the Spirit, and you treat it the same way. So spirit, soul, and body is a building block on top of what you became, what you are now that you're born again. And if someone starts mocking you, you don't stay there like you don't have any brain cells and sit there and waste your breath and you know they don't care. That is not how you do that. You're supposed to notice and recognize, oh, they're mocking me. Even if they call yourself a friend. Even if they're acting like they're your friend. You have to start using discernment. So if someone says, hey, so can you explain spirit, soul, and body? Instead of being pushed in a corner like, oh, wow, that's a good question. You need to start asking yourself some questions. I wonder why this person would ask me this. And just think about that person. Say, does this person Is this person really trying to learn this? You need to start asking yourself some questions. So it's not about whether you can answer it. It's about whether or not the person wants to hear it. So when someone says, well, why would I ask? If I didn't want to hear it, why would I ask? Again, everything is not courtroom. I don't have to prove to somebody why I'm not answering a question. I can discern the motive. And because of that, they get no answer. So let me ask you, Jessica, when the scribes and the Pharisees constantly asked Jesus questions, were they asking him because they're trying to learn?
No, they were doing it, trying to catch him into a lie or they were trying to trap him.
Right. You need to start recognizing that when people are doing that to you.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the nail on the head earlier, because I'm a great big people pleaser.
Yep.
So I've got to understand that I can't do that.
Right. So these people know that. And let me ask you this. People can notice when others are people pleasers. Let me ask you this. What kind of person uses that against someone to hurt them? Tell me.
A criminal mind.
Very insecure. An insecure person is what I was going to say.
Well, we don't. Other than that, how else can we describe this person? Think about it. They know that they may not have to know you very well, but they've listened to you talk before. They've heard you, and they recognize, oh, she's a people pleaser. So I can push. She's a pushover. So I can ask her this question, so I can mock what she believes. So I can mock where she's getting this information from, and I'll just use her to mock I'll use her to mock Descaled. I'll make fun of Descaled through her. That's what they're doing. Would you say that something is okay with that, or something's wrong with that?
Very wrong with that.
Very wrong. So they're abusing your mental state. That's what they're doing. They're abusing you and you don't even see it. That's what they're doing. And they're making you think that they're just asking questions. And then they act like they're your friend right after they do it. And you don't even realize what they just did. They're not proving a point to you. They're proving a point of how they are. So it's really important to understand when people are mentally abusing you. That's mental abuse. When you know that someone's a people pleaser, and what you do is you're on purpose asking them questions just so you can mock what they believe. And they'll say, no, but I'm just trying to teach you. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're trying to mock. And so, if what they were saying was so true, wouldn't they just preach what they preach? Why would they go around mocking what other people are claiming they believe? Why wouldn't they just preach what they preach?
They want to mock.
Because they want to mock, right? So the scribes and the Pharisees always put themselves around Jesus, around Jesus's disciples, and they always questioned them all the time. None of them were trying to learn nothing, but they were always around.
Even before him, they did it John the Baptist. That's why he went to the other side of the Jordan River, and then they came over.
Yeah, so again, right? So what does that show again? That the spirit always mocks the flesh, and the flesh always mocks the spirit. Always. So the flesh will always be on the attack, though, all the time.
That's why I went to Ephesians 2. You say Ephesians 2, verse 14, he says, Paul, for he himself is our peace, who has made both one and has broken down the middle wall of separation, having abolished his flesh in the enmity, that is the law of commandments contained in ordinance, so as to create in himself one new man from the two, thus making peace, and that he might reconcile them both to God in one body through the cross, thereby putting to that the enmity.
Yeah. What did you read?
Ephesians chapter 2, verse 14,
Yeah.
15, 16.
All right, guys, let me try to get some spirit, soul, and body out the way today. Because like I said, we won't finish it this week. We'll finish it next week. And I was looking at like the way I had the schedule. It would have been another week, but if y'all remember, we did at least 4 or 5 doubles in one day. So I did 2 in one day, like 4 times at least. So it would have been a full 2 weeks, but we might get done next week. All right. So who was going to look up Romans 7, 15 to 23? Who was looking that up?
I can. So you said Romans 7 what?
7, 15 through 23. Don't read it yet. Just let me know when you found it. Let's see.
Yeah, I have it already.
Yeah, okay. Well, just let me know when you found it. Okay, so no people would say that's blasphemy. Walked anywhere. Rhonda, would you say? I already know people would say that's blasphemy if I walked anywhere and said that. So if you walked anywhere and said the Spirit of God, first of all, you don't announce it out loud verbally. Guys, that's not what I don't mean it that way. I'm saying in your head, you tell yourself the truth that the Spirit of God just walked into this place. That is the proper way of understanding who you are, is to have that attitude. That's how you stay focused on the Word. That's how you stay focused and what, the new creation that you've became. You are a representative of Christ, and for you to walk into a place and tell yourself, the Spirit of God just walked in here. You have to ask yourself, are you lying? Do you got the Spirit of Christ in you? Yes. Okay, so if you got the Spirit of Christ in you, did the Spirit of God just walk into that building? Yes. Why? Because know ye not that ye are the temple? So if you're the temple of God and that God dwelleth in you, then the Spirit of God did walk into this place. So regardless if the Spirit of God's already there or not, you don't know. You just got there, right?
I'll tell you what.
Hold on, let me say this real quick. Hold on, Dre, let me say this real quick, because I've been trying to read this. Any tips for final examination? Any tips for final examinations? Yeah. If you don't study and prep for your examination before the examination, you have failed yourself. If you want to pass an examination, as soon as you find out that you're having an examination, you need to stop doing everything outside of that examination. Put all your time and effort in that examination. Get good study partners, a study group if you have to, and you beat that sucker down until it becomes your, like your slave. Okay, like you beat it down until you own it. And once you own it and you sit down in front of that examination the day of, you'll be the only one with a smile on your face, because you're going to have nothing but confidence of all the time and effort, sweat and tears that you put in to understanding that material. So what is my recommendation for anyone that has an examination? I just gave it to you. If you didn't do that, well, I guess that class will see you next year. Destroy something. What your job? What your job? What is my job? Is that what you're asking? Like, what do I do for work? I'm retired. That's what I do for work. Military law enforcement. I retired. And on the side, I teach people how to do many things. Many things. I sell firewood.
Timber.
Yeah, I do that too. I
got to drop down, guys. Love y'all.
All right.
Go.
Well, all righty then.
God bless, brother.
All right, Dre, my bad. What were you going to say? Dude, I always miss questions, and I just went through there looking for them. And
Oh, you're good. I was going to say, like, people may think I'm crazy, bro. I know you won't, but some people may think I'm crazy. When I go preach, like, when I go to different parts of the world and they, like, are heavy into witchcraft and stuff like that, in my mind, when I arrive in these places and in these villages, I say, God has arrived.
yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, God has arrived.
100%.
And people be like, that's blasphemy. You called yourself God. He's in me.
He's
So,
in me.
If he's in me, then he arrived with me.
Yep.
I'm not by myself.
That's right. He said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. So he's right here. And then when people go, well, yeah, well, then, okay, then what's the argument? What's the argument? What's the argument then? If you know he's here, what's the argument? I'm just proclaiming it. It's true already. All right. So who's going to read Romans 7:15 through 23?
I got it if you want me to, brother.
No, just let me know. I just want to know who's going to read it.
I'm here.
All right, Hulk. Okay, Hulk, you can read it in a minute. Let me point out,
Okay.
but just be ready because I'll let you know when. So, if you look at Paul's like writings and stuff, bro, like, it's him. The ones that we know for sure, right? That Paul wrote. I'm not talking about the book of Hebrews, even though that I will say that it's easy to believe that he wrote that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he does. But I would say, I think he did, or if he didn't, then it was the Spirit that did, which means the Spirit living in another man. Because the integrity of the way that person is understanding, the way that a person is understanding the Old Testament, like Paul, of course they're going to sound exactly the same. This is why people to this day think that Paul wrote the book of Hebrews, because it sounds just like Paul. But the truth is, it doesn't sound like Paul. It sounds like the Spirit. It sounds like something that has wisdom, understands what it's reading, and is proving the knowledge thereof. But that's the Spirit. So the Spirit will always make another person sound wise, and I'm talking about God's wisdom. So again, if Paul didn't write Hebrews, it doesn't matter who did, because it was the Spirit. That knowledge came from the Spirit. It's the wisdom of God, right? And even in Galatians and Colossians, other books that Paul wrote, it's the Spirit that's writing it. So it's not hard to see that Paul wrote these things, because we know of the revelation that he had, right? But Paul, he acknowledged his born again spirit. 100% he did. All you got to do is look at all of his letters. It's him, But he declared that there is no good thing in my flesh. That's what Paul said. There is no good thing in my flesh. My unrenewed mind and physical body, all the external parts of me, functioning independent of Christ. This is how Paul understood things, and this is why he explained it. So go ahead and read Romans 7:15-23.
Gotcha. All right. For that which I do, I allow not. What I would that do, I not. But what I hate that I do, I. If then I do that which I would not, I consent to the law that it is good. Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, doeth no good thing. For the will is present with me, but how to perform that which is a good I find not. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Now if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. I find then a law, that when I would do it good, it was present with me. For I delight in the law of God after the inward man. But I see another law in my members, warn against the law of the mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from this body of this death?
Okay. Listen, we talked about this yesterday, and, again, talking about how Paul sounds very similar in a lot of letters that he's writing. We look at Galatians 5:17, and it literally sounds a lot like what we just read, except it's a different book. So is Paul just being boring? Why does Paul kind of keep saying the same kind of stuff?
To get us to get it, to learn it.
Because it's always a different audience as well. But he's teaching the same thing. Why? Because anytime someone new comes, don't they have to learn too?
Yes.
Okay, so when people really don't understand discipleship, people think that being a Christian is just running around showing how smart you are. That's what they think being a Christian is. That's what a converted Christian is. But a disciple doesn't do that. A disciple just doesn't go around everywhere just showing how smart they are. They usually are talking to different people, but they're going over the exact same thing that they just taught a few 100,000 people already. So do you see how if you don't have patience, do you see how it's real easy to get out of discipling people? Can you see it? It's real easy. Because in the Army, right? If let's say you're a drill sergeant, they only let you be a drill sergeant around 3 years, okay? And the reason is because you get new privates in, 95% of them are completely lost. 5% of them are not because they're considered prior service, which means they were already in the service for 3 to 6 years most of the time. They got out, and for whatever reason, I've heard them all. Some of them like, man, me and my wife just had a baby. Babies are expensive, and we were barely making it. And I didn't get to finish going to school. Neither one of us did. So I joined so I can have a little extra cash. And I'm going to do this for a few years until I get myself together, blah, blah. Other people say, man, I only joined the Army because I have no other skill. So I joined. And then when I got out, well, guess what? The job that I have in the Army, that's not even a real job out here. Like, for instance, I can't remember the name of the job. 88 Mike? No, that's a truck driver. 77 Foxtrot. It might be that one. I think it's 77 Foxtrot. Should be a fueler. Dre, fact check me on that. In the U.S. Army, what is the MOS for a fueler? I think it's 77 Fox. I could be wrong. It's been a long time. It's either a 60, 70, or 80 series, man. I don't remember. Well, anyway, if you're a fueler in the Army,
that's it.
Is it 77 Fox?
77 Fox.
Okay.
Yep.
So I had a buddy, and I can't remember exactly how everything happened or how we met everything, but this one particular dude, every time I would pull up.
Before you say the story, so it makes more sense. The 77 Fox, the actual name is called Petroleum Specialist.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, that's it. Petroleum. They give you the cutest little name. Everybody's a specialist. Everybody's got an extreme important job, And so, but that's what he did. So, bro, we would come back, bro. There'd be blood all over the place. Somebody was either unalived or we did some unaliving, hard time. And we come back, bro. We've been gone anywhere between 8 to 12 hours. If we didn't stay the night, or it was like a freaking 2-week thing. And we probably ain't been asleep in 2-3 days, ugly. We're low on fuel. We have no fuel, and we got to go back out there for another 2 or 3 days. I mean, bro, I'm telling you right now, we have no patience for nothing. And we get up there and these guys show up. Here they come, 77 Fox. They're like, hey guys, we got you, bro. Hey, uniform clean, smell like they just got out of the shower 30 minutes ago. Coffee brewing. And I'm just looking at them and I'm like, I'm trying to find someone that's got the same rank as me. And I finally find one. And I said, hey, Sergeant, come here. And I'm looking at him, and I don't mean to do it, but I'm looking at this dude and I'm like, this guy gets paid exactly what I get paid. And I said, hey man, we fueled up or what? Oh, we're working on it, man. This and that. I was like, hey, you get some sleep last night? Well, yeah. And I was like, well, I'm glad you did. I don't want you sticking that fuel in my exhaust tank or something. Man, those guys got to have sleep, bro. But it took me a minute to figure it out. They got to be pampered. They got to be fed, because if you come back tired, frustrated, and they're tired and frustrated, you're not going to have a good session. So these guys would chipper you up, bro. Like, come on, man. I know it's hard. Get back out there, do your thing. And there'll always be a guy that's like, man, can I go with y'all? I want to go kick in some doors. And I'm looking at him like, nah, bro, you won't make it, bro. We're just going to go back out there. But I'm saying all that because Matter of fact, why am I talking about 77 Foxtrot? Dre, reel me back in, bro.
Oh, because you talk about people go, they get out of the military and they think they can go be a 77 Fox at the gas station. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
clerk, and then they go back into the military as prior service.
Yeah, and they go back. Yeah, but why was I talking about that? Man, today I was reeling. I've been ready to be reeled in.
Because you were.
I
think you were talking about like discipleship because you can only be a drill.
All right, sorry, I apologize. Okay, so so as a drill instructor, right? You only can do that for about 3 years, and the reason is these guys, and I'm telling you, that's what I was going to have to go do. I was dreading life. I wanted to be an instructor on a range, teaching something on a range. And everybody was turning me down. I was like, oh my God, I got everything I need. I was like, bro, that means that you're going to do one of the two. Now, everybody thinks, to be honest, that it's cool to be a drill sergeant. All right. And it's cool if you're a pogue. All right. So if you're a supply, like, 77 Foxtrot or a truck driver, those guys want to, because their main two choices. Now, they can go be an instructor on some other kind of things too. Don't get me wrong. But there are two main jobs. There are two main jobs that, for the most part, the majority of the people stress over. One of them is drill sergeant, and the other one, the number one, is recruiter. The majority of people, especially infantry, do not want to be a recruiter, bro. Period. The end. Do not. I definitely did not. It doesn't mean I'm not good with people. I'm great with people, but bro, I was trained to do a specific job, and that's what I want to do. I don't want to go live in some town for 2 to 3 years, and that's what I do, 8 to 5.
And normally a podunk town, they send you somewhere in Indiana, somewhere in some horrible.
They're going to send you wherever they want. Oh, it's anyway. I don't even want to think about it, bro.
Interrupt, bro, but YouTube needs a mod.
Oh yeah. Can I get a couple of mods? Can I get a couple of mods to YouTube, please? If you're a mod on YouTube, can you say something? Let me know on the YouTube. Okay, there's Brenda. I need another one, though. Okay, I got two, Jude and Brenda. All right, I know it's hard. I know y'all got lives outside of Descaled, but just every once in a while, can you just kind of scroll through the screen and, kick the trash out? I should be wearing a trash bag today, Donald Trump people are trash, apparently, when you start wearing trash bags. Okay, you're good, man. But anyway, drill sergeant's one of them. Recruiter's the other one. I was blessed to go be a sniper instructor, which that's what I put in for. I was trying to put in for, we'll just put it that way. And I wasn't getting an okay. So I went to this course that they have, like right before you're going to become a drill sergeant. I really thought that's what I was going to have to do. And everybody's like, what? That's cool, bro. Not more cool than some other jobs. No, it's not. If you're a pogue, then it's cool because you get to go play, like everything and all this and mentally beat up people and all. I guess that's cool, I'd have been good at it, but that's just not what I wanted to do. Anyway, but as a drill instructor, you are constantly... You get this group of guys, okay? There's like 100 or 200 of them, and you get about 30 or 40. There's like anywhere between 3 to 6 drill sergeants per platoon, and these people don't know nothing. And you've already been through basic training, so you know what they need to learn. So you teach them, and when that class is done, which they're going to be done in 90 days, guess what? You get another one. So everybody's coming and going, and you're there every day. And guess what? Now you got to teach this group to march. And they ain't getting it. So you get upset. You're like, God, what is so hard? And then guess what? They leave. Now you get a new bunch. Eventually, there is this blind knowledge. That's what I'm going to call it. It's a blind knowledge. You already know that these people are new, but you have been blinded. And you, in some weird way, you literally think that they are the first class. Can you imagine teaching something over and over to the same 30 people for 30 years? Could anybody imagine that? Imagine that. If you were teaching for 30 years, hold on a second. All right. But if you were teaching the same 30 people the exact same thing for 30 years, I'm telling you, after 1 year, you're going to start pulling your hair out of your head. So this is why they let people be a drill sergeant only for a few years, because they have this blind knowledge. There's something that is they're not able to come back to reality, that the fact that they're getting new people. So they got to go back after, a whole day, or, of course, after a year or two, and keep reminding themselves these are not the same guys. And God forbid you look and have the same name as another classmate, right? And let's say your last name is, I'm just going to say Ramirez, okay? And Ramirez doesn't only look like the last knucklehead. And again, this could have been 2-3 classes ago. He looks like him. His height, everything about this dude, the same mistakes are the same mistakes the other Ramirez had. He cannot keep it in step. He swings his arms too much. When you go to, salute, his hand is always it's never right. Let's say those are the 3 main things through drill and ceremony. And you're just losing it. You're like, Ramirez, I'm about to snap. We go over this 20 times a day. And I'm telling you, I've heard a private tell their drill sergeant, this is my 3rd day. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we started drill and ceremony yesterday. We've only been here 3 days. And he's like, shut up, And I'm thinking, well, that's true. Why would he say? And he was talking to this dude like he knew him. I'm like, wait a minute. And again, I was a private. But what happens is you just lose it. You'll just snap. The patience starts wearing you down. You no longer am as patient as you used to be. Like, your first 6 months, or maybe your first year, and you're getting into your 2nd year, you're teaching the same stuff. You don't teach anything different. So I'm saying all that to say, when you're making disciples, it's hard, because it's not hard for me, because you're given grace by God to do it. But what I'm saying is, for the real natural you, it's hard. A person who is just a convert, it is very hard for them to make disciples. Hard. It's real hard. You'll never see them do it. They'll just hop around from conversation to conversation in churches or apps. And if they're bored with the topic, they'll move on and talk about another topic. And if they get bored with that one, they'll just move over here, never truly dedicating themselves to the cause, right? The cause is to make disciples. Why? Because they have to go make some. How can your disciples, right? And for the religious people, those are God's disciples. Calm down for the religious folks. But I'm saying the people that you're discipling, how can they make disciples if you didn't disciple them yet? I'm talking about anybody that you could have came across. You could have made them understand what discipleship is, so they can make disciples. Now they can go make disciples. Well, how can they do that if you're not making any? How? So the flesh cannot make a disciple. A convert cannot make a disciple, not only because he doesn't have the ability, but because he doesn't have the patience. Doesn't have it. The fruits of the Spirit is patience. That's the fruit of the Spirit. So when people are just waiting to see like a mistake, they're not looking for the fruits of the Spirit. They're only looking at the fruits of the flesh. The flesh in itself is already, in God's eyes, enmity. So anything that thing does, that doesn't come from the Spirit. It's they don't have a renewed mind, so they still know how to act certain things out. But a person who's been discipled, you're supposed to look for the fruits of the Spirit. That's what you're supposed to be looking for. So when you see someone that has an inability to give off any fruits of the Spirit, any at all, then you can say, okay, something's up with this person. But if some of the fruits of the Spirit,
No, I was going to say that brings me back to Genesis when God said, be fruitful and multiply. Like if you're discipling, it's 54 people right here, and you're discipling all of us, you know, and we go disciple 54, each of us, that's multiplying, you know. And it's funny, me and Tammy was laughing in the comments because I used to think that meant something else, if you know what I mean. Like, I used to think
supposed to have a lot of kids
to have intercourse. Yeah.
No, but yeah, that's what being fruitful and multiplying is. It's making disciples. That's
what I made this whole basketball team, and that wasn't what God told me to do.
Yeah. What? Look how fruitful I am. So that's why when you see like if a woman cannot have kids or something and she's barren, that's why back in the day people would look at her with shame, because how can she do what God says? She can't be fruitful and multiply. But these women, even women, for the bigots, right? Believe it or not, even the women, if they physically couldn't have kids, I'm telling you, there's so many in the histories where they start making disciples for God, and they're actually being more fruitful than a regular woman. And people didn't understand that, but it's so true. Your job is to be spiritually bountiful, not physically, spiritually. Does that mean don't have kids? No, have kids. That guy's not talking about that. He's not talking about that, because remember, that's why there's a new earth and a new heaven. That new earth is not going to be full of physical kids. It's not going to be full of that. It's going to be full of people who have been spiritually born again, that have life in them. So you can have all the physical kids in the world, but if they all go to hell, how fruitful were you? Right? If none of them went to heaven, how fruitful were you? But if you're bringing people alive and you're the barren woman, you can't even have physical kids, but all these ladies are having physical kids and all their kids are going to hell, 100%, they're going to hell. And you're the one, the barren woman that came and brought all these kids back alive. Which one of the parents or which one of the ladies are being fruitful and multiply? The one that had them physically or the one that brought them alive spiritually? Which one was fruitful and multiplied? It'd be the one that people would look at. Yeah, it'd be the barren woman. It'd be the one that people think she should be ashamed. Her life should be shame. But when we get to heaven, the crown on her head is going to prove otherwise. And it has nothing to do with us looking for a reward. God knows. He knows who's being fruitful because they're just being who they are. And he knows who people are trying to just be a convert, and they're just trying to make, trying to like force this thing to happen. You're not going to be able to force it. You can't force it to happen. Not even a little bit. Oh man, what I do here. It doesn't look like we're going to get to, because I got to get off at 11. I got to get off literally in like 5 minutes. All right, that's cool. All right, we'll just start where we left off tomorrow. Does anybody got anything? We still got a few minutes for I hop off, man. Has anybody got anything, a question or anything before we bounce? Anybody?
I'm glad you said it comes naturally, because I feel like a lot of people are like trying to force people to understand the word, and that's what I've realized. It's just gonna come out when it comes.
Yeah, when you are right, who God says you are, meaning that you already know that's who you are, then you're gonna act that out. That's what it's just what you're gonna do. But you have people that they do not know. They may have a head knowledge that they're born again, but they really don't know. Like, it's not naturally happening yet. The things that they're supposed to be doing, those things aren't happening. So what they do is they think that they're just supposed to just run into people, whether it's on an app or in real life, and they'll just start talking about the Bible, and they're just waiting for like it's kind of like jump rope. You know how you got jump rope? My mama said to hop at a dad. You got jump rope, and they're like waiting to hop in. Like they're just waiting for you to like either say something that's not right, or they're waiting for you to have a different opinion. And as soon as you do that, they hop right on in there and be like, you don't know the word of God. Let me teach you. And they're not about making disciples. They ain't trying to make disciples one bit. They're not trying to do any of that. All they did is they took a lot of head knowledge from the Bible and they just go around beating people up with it. That's not making disciples. I don't know where they think that's making disciples. It's not what making disciples is, but that's what they do. You can see it. There's people that go to, they'll have like meetings at the church, and they'll put the wrong person in charge of a freaking meeting. And that person's in there just beating everybody up, not teaching nothing. People don't understand what they're talking about. You see it on these apps. It's actually easier to do it on these apps, right? You can make a live and you put little cute titles right here. Listen. Some people put titles on there just so they can keep order. I understand that, but people abuse this. They'll make a title and they'll put these, like they'll just put titles right here. There's several. There'll be 2 or maybe 4 things. But a lot of these people, they just do that because they want to bring people in the room just to argue with them, right? So it's nothing wrong with like, having a live and then putting titles, whether it's 1 or 6, and then tell someone, hey, which one of these you want to talk about? And then you just kind of educate. There's nothing wrong with that. There's people that do it pretty well, when it comes to apps. But there's other people, they just do it because they just want to argue and call people heretics. That's all. And you can see them doing it. You can see them do it. You just pay attention. That's all they're doing. And they'll see like a live, like this one. And they'll say things like, oh man, those guys, they're just all about themselves. That's what, like this dude literally pours himself into people. That's all he's doing. And they don't understand when a disciple is making disciples, these people don't understand what, like for instance, like what I'm doing. They don't understand because they only hear one person talking. And so in their head, they're like, man, that person must like hearing themselves a lot. Well, you know what? That's wrong. They just like hearing themselves. That's all they don't understand what the person's doing. If they understood, they would not make comments like that. They wouldn't say, oh, well, these people are like hearing themselves. Bro, the disciples didn't like hearing themselves. They were making disciples. You have to speak. You have to speak in order to make a disciple. So, whenever you have someone that's trying to talk bad about someone that's making disciples, you got to really question yourself. Like, do they know how to discern? How do they not know how to use discernment on what this person is doing? That's when you notice that the person's in their flesh, right? And we start using these junior high words again, where you have jealousy and you have envy and strife. They don't like the person, but they have to make up a reason that sounds Christian-like. So they'll say things like, what they teach is heresy, or, oh no, those kind of people, they just want to hear, they don't let anybody else talk. Listen, if you haven't heard anything so childish, they don't, watch this. The disciple, that disciple that makes disciples, they don't let other people talk. Now tell me how that does that make sense? If you met a disciple and the disciple's making disciples, which one's supposed to be talking? Is the student supposed to be talking? Which one's supposed to be? And they don't like that. Well, that's the order of fashion. That's how it works. And people, when they humble themselves and they allow someone to disciple them, there are always going to be people that don't like the disciple. They don't like them. And so they have to bring everybody back to junior high and say, well, they just like to hear themselves. And it's not I'm making disciples, or not just me. There's other people that do this too, but you can hear them and they'll say things like, oh, they just like to hear, and they just, and I got them in my mind. And well, you need to grow up, to be honest with you. How are you at the age that you're at and you don't know the difference between someone who makes disciples and someone who's all about themselves? You don't know the difference? And they'll say, yeah, I know the difference. And you're not discipling nobody. Okay, so the dozens of people that express the truth that they have receive lots of knowledge through coming to Descale. I'm using Descale right now as an example. So they're all lying. So now what do they say? Nope, you're being deceived. Listen, what they say is they're smart, you're dumb, you need to listen to them. That's what they're saying. Why am I using that one as an example? Because people who always want to hear themselves speak, that's all they want to do is hear themselves speak. They don't make disciples. They just speak a lot to a whole bunch of different people. So the one thing that they're pointing that disciples do, that's actually what they do. They say a lot of words. They don't teach anybody hardly anything. And the people they do teach, or they claim they're teaching, they hardly see any of them again. They just see these, like for instance, on this app, the people will come in, they'll argue for 10 minutes. You'll never see that person again. Another one will come in, they'll argue for 30 minutes. You never see that person, not making any decide. They're lost in what they're doing. They don't understand. There's some people that will come back to hang out with these certain individuals, but 75% of the people that are coming in the room are new. They're not receiving what they're saying. It's just there's a better way. And the better way is for you to be discipled first. And these people are not becoming discipled. They're just picking up the Bible and they're just trying to make disciples. That's what they're trying to do.
Okay, so when you was talking about peace and testing the dust off of feet and stuff, it made me think about when the Lord he took the cloth that he girded himself with, and he sat down, and Peter, he was like, "Why are you washing our feet, Lord? Not just my feet, but my whole body." And the Lord told him, that I'm paraphrasing now. Basically, his whole body was clean because that he was with him, being washed that whole time, walking with the Lord. But his feet had to be washed. Now, would that be like washing? Okay, so in Psalms it says something, "Let your word be a light upon my feet." So is that basically what he was doing, preparing them to go out and disciple?
Yeah, were you not here when I talked about that? Like, I went deep into that part of the Bible, Jesus washing the disciples' feet. You didn't hear me talk about that?
No, brother.
Oh,
I
man.
don't remember.
Yeah, let me say this because I got to go. Hey, Jennifer, bring that up again tomorrow, right? So I can go in more depth about it. But let me ask you, why do you think Peter said, "Wash my whole body"?
Because he was still in a carnal state of mind.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Because Jesus said, "What I do now, you don't know." Okay. And he said, if you take a shower, he said, you don't have to take another shower. You just have to wash your feet, right? That makes sense because they walked around in sand all day, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what he's saying is, if you're saved, you don't have to get saved again, but you do have to have your feet washed in this world that you walk in. But that's us washing each other's feet, because every day in this world, in this desolate world, we're going to be tempted to believe things, right? And we're supposed to encourage each other with the word. That's what that is. So we'll go in deep with it tomorrow, guys. I got to hop off. Everybody at the same time say bye, because I literally have to go. I'm already a few minutes past.
God bless.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all in the morning.